Hello everyone, welcome to Easy Linguistics. Today's session will be about doing a phonological analysis of almost any language. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a phonological analysis of any language. So without further ado, let's get started. So when investigating the phonology of a given language, it is important for linguists to identify certain sounds or phonemes as phonemes or allophones. So in any question or any exercise related to phonological analysis, you will be asked to look at a certain data from a language that you may never have heard of before and identify whether a given pair of sounds are allophones or phonemes. So to do that, or following the steps below, you will be able to do an effective phonological analysis of almost any language. So the first thing we have to do when performing a phonological analysis is look or identify minimal pairs. So if you find any minimal pair within the data given, then automatically the sounds in questions are two different phonemes. So what do we mean by two different phonemes or allophones of the same phoneme? What do we mean exactly by that? So when we have two allophones of the same phoneme, when we alter these sounds, the meaning does not change. If, on the other hand, the sounds are phonemes, then changing one with the other may result or results actually in change of meaning. An example would be like and lake. So the I sound or the A sound are allophones, are different phonemes in English. Why? Because changing one with the other will result in change of meaning. So like is different in meaning with lake. The same with break and broke. So the only difference in this pair of sounds or pair of words are this A sound or O sound. O sound. So break and broke have two different meanings. This means that A and O are two different phonemes. Another example is bow and pow. So B and P in English are two different phonemes. Why? Because B and P occur in the same environment, and changing one with the other, changing B with P sound results in a change in meaning. This means that these sounds, or yes, these sounds are different phonemes in English. So in order to find or in order to figure out whether a set of sounds are two different phonemes or allophones of the same phoneme, we have to look for minimal pairs. So if you find minimal pairs, two minimal pairs, then it automatically follows that these sounds are two different phonemes. If, on the other hand, you did not, or you have not found any minimal pairs within the data given to you, then the sounds given are allophones of the same phoneme. So if the sounds are allophones of the same phoneme, so if, on the other hand, there are no minimal pairs, then the sounds are allophones of the same phoneme. So if they are allophones, then you have to follow step B. So what is step B? So now you should state the phonological rule that accounts for the distribution of the different allophones. So you found earlier. So this means that you have to state the environment in which each allophone occurs. So if the two sounds you found within the data are two different allophones, this means that there is a phonological rule that accounts for the distribution. So an allophone may not or should never occur in an environment in which the other allophone occurs. This means that there are two environments in which these two allophones occur. Here's an example. So the example of a language called Sindhi. So consider the distribution of the sounds p, p aspirated, and b. Given the data below, determine whether these sounds are three different phonemes or allophones of the same phoneme. So if they are different phonemes, state the minimal pairs that prove this. If they are allophones of the same phoneme, state the phonological environment in which these sounds occur. So here is a language, and we have three sets of sounds, p, p, aspirated, and b. And so we have to figure whether these three different sounds are allophones of the same phoneme or are just three different phonemes. To do that, we have to look for minimal pairs. So if we found minimal pairs, that would be it. It means that these sounds are three different phonemes. If, on the other hand, there are no minimal pairs within this data, then it means that these sounds are allophones of the same phoneme. This means that we have to look for the rule that accounts for their distribution. So let's first look at minimal pairs. Let's look whether there are any minimal pairs within this data set. So this is step one. So if you find any minimal pair within the data given, then automatically the sounds in question are two different phonemes. So we have to look for minimal pairs within this data. So we have to look for words where the difference is in just one sound, whether p or p aspirated or b, and they should occur in the same environment. Let's take this example. We have this vero and peno. So these are the same. No, they are not the same, sorry. So we have this peno with p and this peno with p aspirated. So we have the same word, the same sounds here, and the meaning is different. We have leaf and hood of snake. It means that this sound and this sound are two different phonemes because this is a minimal pair. Now we have to look for another minimal pair with a D or a B sound. Here it is. So this word, bino, and pino with aspirated p, and pino, they are all the same word. The only difference is in p and p aspirated and then b. And we have different meanings. So we have leaf, we have hood of snake, and then we have forest. This means that this is a minimal pair, and the question whether these sounds are allophones, different allophones of the same phoneme, or are just different phonemes. And because we have a minimal pair here, pino, pino, and bino, this means that these sounds p, p aspirated, and b are actually different phonemes and not just allophones of the same phoneme. And in answering the question, we should say, because we have a minimal pair and we should give the minimal pairs, we should write this pino, pino, and bino. Because these are minimal pairs, this means that the different sounds p and p aspirated and b are actually different phonemes. So this is how you answer the question. If, for example, we have not found any minimal pairs within this data, then we should say that these sounds are actually allophones of the same phoneme. And so we have to give the rule that accounts for their distribution. This means that we have to say where exactly a given sound occurred. We should give the environment in which a given sound occurs. So this is it for phonological analysis. So see you next time with exercises from previous exams about phonological analysis. So if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button.